What's up guys, Mid-Atlantic weather here, and today I'm back with another video forecasting this tropical wave coming off of Africa and the wave behind it. So taking a look at the 7-day National Weather Service tropical weather outlook, it's only giving the storm a 20% chance to form, and yesterday was 30%, it just keeps going down. I personally don't think we're going to see this become anything, as it's just going to move into the Caribbean and come in contact with a ton of wind shear, and most likely just like dissipate over the Caribbean. However, there is a wave behind it that I find a little bit more concerning. So let's look at that. All right, this is the 6 a.m. GFS model run, which is probably the most concerning to get this far. And you see the storm move into the Caribbean and dissipate, and you see the wave behind it come off Africa, and it starts to form, and then it gets into a hurricane, lowers, heading towards the East Coast. It rides up the East Coast, it makes landfall. Actually, it doesn't quite make landfall, but it comes really close to making landfall in the Carolinas, in Maryland, and Delaware. This is definitely the most concerning model run, as this was to come in contact with the East Coast as a major hurricane that could have a lot of impacts, a lot of wind, and a lot of rain. Just to had to keep watching this. The GFS model is the most aggressive model. The European model and Canadian model are not as quite as aggressive. And this is the 6 a.m. run, so now I'm going to show you the 12 o'clock run. Okay, so the 12 o'clock GFS run, you see that storm, the wave come off Africa. Again, it forms right around the Bahamas. This time, it kind of goes in and out of forming, and then it makes landfall in Florida, and it goes up the East Coast. So this model run, this is the newest model run. It doesn't have it making land. It has it making landfall in Florida, not on the East Coast, which is still Florida. It's not as strong, but still making landfall along the East Coast and still making landfall in the U.S. Like I said, the GFS is the most aggressive model, and we're going to have to keep watching this. Look at the GFS. I'm going to take a look at the winds. This is the 6 o'clock model, and as it's moving through, right about there, it gets into its strongest form, and winds are at 106 miles per hour, or 106 knots, which is about 120 miles per hour, which is a major hurricane category 3. If this was to make landfall, it would most likely be devastating, and I'm going to take a look at the European now. Taking a look at the European model, the second wave comes off, and then it forms right there, and it kind of forms. You're waiting for it to come back, and it never comes back. It just dissipates over the Atlantic Ocean. So you can see how much of a difference there is in the two models, and one takes it to be a Category 3 hurricane making landfall on the East Coast. One takes it to be not even a tropical depression and just not even forming into anything. I do want to look at the Canadian model as that's another model that I like to look at. There's three models, and let's go look at that now. So the Canadian model, let's look at this. So you see the low pressure comes off. It forms much earlier in its path than the GFS and European have it. It has it forming almost right off Africa, and then you start to get some spinning right around there. But then that high pressure is much farther to the right on the Canadian, which is making it so that storm can ride up off the side and just go up into the Atlantic. But however, on the GFS, that high pressure is more to the left and more closer to the East Coast, so it's keeping it suppressed, pushing it down so it can't go out to sea. So that high pressure placement is going to be big for where the storm goes, and we're going to keep watching where the high pressure goes, because that will most likely determine where this low pressure goes as well. Before I end here, I want to talk about the Mid-Atlantic, because that's what I do at the end of every video. You see some storms moving off the coast of Maryland and the Carolinas, and then you're getting into Wednesday morning, early Wednesday morning, 2 a.m., and you get a little bit of severe weather up in Pennsylvania and New Jersey and New York, and then you get a pretty heavy thunderstorm that moves into Delaware. This is around 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So we'll have to keep watching that too. Possibility for some heavy thunderstorms and small hail. And that's all I got for today, guys. We're going to keep watching these model runs, and see where they trend towards. Just keep an eye on the second wave and make sure that the East Coast is all ready and prepared if this does happen. I'll see you all tomorrow, guys. Peace out.